Hello, everyone. So in this part of the video, we're going to be talking about creating a data frame using a dictionary and using a 2D NumPy array. In the previous video, we just learned how to create a data frame using a list and a series, correct? So let's get started. Now, I'm trying to create a data frame using a dictionary. So let's just understand a few things in the example here. Okay, as usual, you need to import pandas, otherwise you cannot be using the functionality of the pandas module. Okay, if you look at this statement here, what do you think I'm creating here? Am I creating a list, a series, a NumPy array, or a dictionary? It's very clear to us with these brackets that student is nothing but a dictionary, correct? The keys of the dictionary happens to be the names, and let's say the values are their marks, okay? Now, here I'm making use of the same function called data frame, which I used for creating, from a list as well as from a series, okay? What am I providing to the function called data frame? A dictionary, and that is the reason I say I am creating a data frame using a dictionary. Now, why is this so important? Okay, if your your dictionary is a scalar value, what do I mean by that? It was already told to you that when we deal with dictionaries, then the keys of the dictionary automatically become the column names. So the value under Pooja is 85, the value under Rohan is 76, the value under Amit is 90, and the value under Kriti is 56. So it's a scalar value. So when we talk about a data frame consists of, a two-dimensional figure consisting of rows and columns. So in this scenario, you're just going to be having one row. Now, are we talking about only one row, or do you want it to be repeated over rows? Will depend on what you are, the number of elements in your index parameter. Okay, suppose I write index is equal to marks. What does that mean? There is only one index label, which means there is only one row, and that row consists of 85, 76, 90, and 56. Suppose I wrote index is equal to term 1 comma term 2. So what does it mean? That it consists of two rows. And in this scenario, it'll be funny. The same numbers, the same value, the same scalar value will be repeated for the second row as well. So just remember, if you have a regular, dictionary, which has a key and only one value associated with that key, then when you're creating a data frame using such a dictionary, then you need to be specifying the index parameter only for it to know how many times should the value be repeated. Since I have given only one index label here, the output is only going to be consisting of one row, as we see here. So the rows labeling is marks, and it's 85, 76, 90, and 56. Suppose you wrote index as marks 1, comma marks 2. You would see two rows heading with marks 1 and marks 2. But remember, it's a scalar value. In scalar values, we have learned even in a data series, the same value gets repeated depending upon the number of elements in the index parameter. Is that clear? Okay. Now, look at another example. Okay, here also it's a dictionary to understand that. Okay, look at this example called student. Okay, it starts with a curly bracket and it ends with a curly bracket. So definitely it's a dictionary. So I'm creating a data frame using a dictionary. But the only difference here is, if you look at the dictionary carefully, this is your key and this is your value. And now value is not a single value, it's a list of values. So which means under the key called name, that means under the heading called name, you will have 4 values listed below it, which is Pooja, Rohan, Amit, and Kriti. And that is why I say I'm creating a dictionary of list. A dictionary where each key element has a value associated with it. The value is not a single ordinary value, but a list of values. Okay, so Again, not creating a data frame using a list. I'm actually creating a data frame using a dictionary. And we had learned in terms of a dictionary, what happens? Every key becomes a column name. So see, how do I see? So I have a column named as name, column named as marks, and a column named as class, and all the values associated with it. 4 values in each of those categories. So I have 4 rows. Okay. Now, the next question arises is that what if I have a dictionary which consists of the keys name, marks, and class, but when I'm creating a data frame, I don't want all the 3. Maybe I want only 1, or maybe I want only 2. I'll show you that in the next example. So I've taken the same a dictionary which consists of name, marks, and class. But when I'm creating a data frame, I have specified columns as name, comma, class. What does that mean? I'm only interested in the keys called name and the key called class. That means I'm ignoring the key called marks. So what kind of a data frame am I creating? I'm creating a data frame, something like this. Now, another question will arise is, what if I wrote name and instead of class, I wrote division? Okay, then what would happen? We have learned it earlier in the series also. If I write division, then what happens is name comes normal. Next to the division, you will have NaN values because a key called division does not exist. Clear? Okay. Now, what if I create a data frame using a dictionary, but now the dictionary doesn't consist of a list, it consists of a series. Let's try understanding this example here. If you look at this line, I'm making use of a function called series. So basically, what am I creating? I am creating a series. So author is nothing but a series. Article is nothing but a series. And now if you look at F frame, what is this? This is a dictionary. How do I know it's a dictionary? Can you see the curly bracket? Yes. So frame is a dictionary. The key of the dictionary is author, and the value is this particular series. And the next key of the dictionary is article, and the value is this particular series, which means again, it's a list of values, okay, or a series of values. So what will happen? What do you expect to see? The key becomes the heading, which is author, and the other heading, column headings, okay, article, and under that you will see all the values that you have specified in the series. Quite identical to, dictionary of list is the dictionary of series. So what kind of an output are we going to see? As expected, you have author heading, article heading, all authors under author, and all articles under article. And because I've not changed the index labels, they continue to remain as 0, 1, 2, and 3. Clear? Okay. Now, how about having a dictionary which consists of a one-dimensional array? A one-dimensional array, again, can be looked at as a list as well. So you have a one-dimensional array here. It's a 1D array. To be more precise, a 1D NumPy array. You have another 1D NumPy array, and I have a dictionary, okay, which connects you to these 1D arrays. So can I ask you, what are you expecting to see? You're expecting to see what? 2 columns, okay, and both the columns, one is roll number and one is name. Roll number will have all the elements of the 1D array called roll NO, and name will have all the values of the 1D array called names. Okay, so let's see how the output looks, exactly like what we have assumed it to be. So can you realize one thing, that every column can be of a different data type? It just doesn't it look like a small MySQL table? That's what I exactly told you. A data frame is somewhat, you can imagine it as a table. Only thing is, when we were talking about MySQL, we never saw any, row numbering coming up or row labels coming up. But here we have that. Is that clear? Okay. Next, we are going to learn is I can create a data frame using a dictionary, but I can make use of a function named as from_dict. Okay. Now, why do we need to do that? I will tell you a little later. So if you look at this example here, I have a dictionary. This is definitely a dictionary. I am creating a data frame using a dictionary, but you have to understand this. I am not just using a function named as data frame. I am using a function named as from_dict. So pd.dataframe.from_dict. So what is it doing? It is creating a data frame using a dictionary. So what am I going to be seeing? As expected. Now you might say that this is exactly what we saw earlier. So then what is so special about using this function called from_dict? You will come to know in the next example. That is there any specific reason of why we can use this particular function? Okay. Pay attention to the creation of the data frame line. I have written a statement here or a parameter here saying orient is equal to index. Okay. In the previous example, what did we see? The keys called name and the keys called marks and the key named as class became the column names. Okay. But with this function, we can change the orientation, which means the keys, which is name, marks, and class, instead of becoming column names, can also be index labels. So I say orient is equal to index. That means the keys are now going to be representing the index and not the columns. By default, orient is equal to columns. That is why the keys are automatically becoming columns of your data frame. But when you say orient is equal to index, it is going to be, changing the orientation. Okay. To understand that clearly, let's look at the output and things should be fine. Can you see your key name, the other key marks, and the other key class now became the row labels or the index labels, and the column numberings, or column labels continued with the default column names. Okay. But if you look at this, this will not look like a MySQL table. Why? Because in a MySQL table, one particular column, every element in that particular column is of the same kind. Here, when you see every row is of the same kind, okay? But yes, using a data frame, you can change the orientation as well and assume it to look like this. Clear? Okay, so let's go to now. Can we create a data frame using a 2D NumPy array? Okay, now I want all of you all to concentrate on this line where I created a variable called student. This is the 2D array. Now, how do I know it's a 2D array? Can you see individual square brackets? Correct? And then can you see a bigger square bracket? This is how, if you remember, a NumPy 2D array was declared. So basically, you have a 2D array which is like this. Pooja 35, Rohit 56, and Tarun 80. This is your 2D structure, okay? What am I doing? I'm creating a data frame out of this 2D structure. And it's very easy here to understand that every row of your 2D array becomes a row in my data frame. So if your 2D array consists of 3 rows, 4 columns, the data frame will consist of 3 rows, 4 columns. Okay. Now, only thing is I had to give a name for this. Otherwise, this would by default be 0 and 1. If I want to give meaningful names, I tackle with the parameter called columns. We already know columns to give column headings, index to give row headings. Okay. So I am using a parameter called columns. That's not compulsory, but I want to give a name, and I say name comma score. So the first heading, first values will be under the heading called name, and the second value will be their score. Is that clear? So we learned till now, including both the, the parts. We learned how to create a dictionary, a data frame using a list. We learned how to create using a series. We learned how to create using a dictionary, and we learned how to create using 2D NumPy arrays. Okay, so we have already learned how to create a data frame using the collection data structure. Okay. In the next video, we will learn how do we create a data frame by getting the contents from a text file or a CSV file. Okay. So I hope things are clear till here. Okay. Okay. Bye. See you in the next video.